One.
Alrighty, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Playbook Podcast. I believe this is episode 6. A couple weeks ago when I was gone, Trey said the wrong week, and ever since then I've questioned every single time I say the week. So I think it's episode 6 because we started week 1 of the NFL. So episode 6, yes, it is. I'm sorry. Trey, you messed me up there one time, buddy, but it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. It's all good. But welcome back, guys. Really excited for this episode. We got a lot to get to today. Obviously, a lot of things happened today in the NFL. You guys will be seeing this probably tomorrow. So everything happened. This is October 15th. Everything we talked about happened today. But we're going to go ahead and jump right into this, guys. If you guys saw, I'm sure everyone who has a phone knows exactly what I'm about to say. Davante Adams traded to the Jets. I feel like this is definitely the biggest thing that's happened this week. We'll get to a couple games here in a little bit, but I kind of just want to open a discussion about this. Like, what does Davante Adams mean for the Jets? Can they do anything? They just lost a heartbreaker to the Bills after a pretty bad pick by Aaron Rodgers. He, of course, blamed his wide receiver, said he ran the wrong route. I'll get to a couple of things about that game later. But Trey, let's just start talking about this. What does Davante Adams do for the Jets? Does this make him any better? Can he save the season or what?
No. Their O-line sucks. Their O-line sucks, bro. I mean, man. It's so that O-line sucks. I'm sorry, man. They just suck.
Yeah.
I mean, they brought Tyron Smith and 200 people too from free agency this past offseason, and he still cannot protect Aaron Rodgers. So, if he can't protect Aaron Rodgers, how does he gonna get the ball?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of an interesting thing. They have Garrett Wilson. They have Allen Lazard, who caught a crazy Hail Mary. That was crazy. If you guys managed to catch the game, that was crazy. So they have Garrett Wilson. They have Allen Lazard. Mike Williams is now on the trading block, according to Underdog Fantasy. Earlier today, they announced that they still have Breece Hall. So, Jaden, what do you think about this Davante Adams pickup for the Jets?
As far as Davante Adams goes, I mean, I think he's obviously a great player, but as far as, being better for the Jets, I think if Aaron Rodgers just needs to stop blaming his teammates for,
Yeah, I know,
everything.
for real. Literally everything. Oh, my word.
I think that he needs to, own up to, the losses, and regardless if it's his fault, he needs to stop putting the blame on other people. So I think you can put anybody on that team, and I don't think it'll do good for the Jets if Aaron Rodgers keeps this attitude.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. He's been, he's been deflecting blame a lot. He's done that a couple times in his career before. I think it's interesting because you get a guy, they obviously have chemistry. We all know that. We all had TVs for 10 years when they played together, however long they played together. But Davante Adams is coming up on 32 years old. Aaron Rodgers is obviously 40. Neither of them are LeBron James or Tom Brady. So I'm like, the age is eventually going to catch up. Mm-hmm. I think the one person who will actually get a lot of benefit from this is Garrett Wilson, because now Garrett Wilson actually has another receiver who is actually good. So I'm interested to see how this goes. So previously, kind of I want you guys to think about where you had the Jets finishing the season before. Does this move have them moving up in your rankings, Trey, at the end of the season?
Not really. So I still think those are a better team overall because you have a young quarterback and Aaron Rodgers. I don't know more like he was. Jaden said it perfectly. Every time he puts his teammates, man.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. And he's not that bad man no more.
He's not.
And plus he's hurt. He looks a little banged up too with his knee injury.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, he's been banged up. Obviously the O-line, like Trey said, they brought in a couple pieces. Their offense looks really gross.
Yeah.
It's very and Nat Hackett is obviously the offensive coordinator, but we all know who actually is calling the plays. It's Aaron Rodgers, right? Aaron Rodgers typically doesn't like all the movement and things of that nature that, pre-snap motion. He doesn't really do any of that. He's never really done any of that. But coming up on here, I'm gonna pull up. So the Jets, PFF coming into week 5 had them ranked as the 9th best wide receiver. I'm sorry, the 9th best offensive line unit coming into week 5. That was, I think, because they were starting Olu Fashanu at right tackle. That's their draft pick they picked up, that the young stud from Penn State. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting thing. They obviously need, it helps, but I'm not sure if it makes. Well, the main thing that happened, we're going to move on to this as well. Their number one competition is obviously the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
The Buffalo Bills today added Amari Cooper as well.
Yeah, they did.
So the Bills got better too. Mm-hmm. And I want to move over to the Bills now. We'll talk about the Jets game a little bit later, but I kind of want to go over this. How does this help the Bills, Trey? Do you think this pushes the Bills up from your preseason rankings for them?
Yeah, I think it's still the same. I have the Bills winning the AFC West. I think they're the best team I think the second best team in my opinion. I think they're better than Baltimore because Baltimore looks a little shaky. But I think Buffalo. I think Josh Allen, man, he finally got a weapon that can actually catch.
He did. Mm-hmm. He did. Yeah, Jaden. I mean, so Amari Cooper helps. The number one issue the Bills were having was against man coverage. Amari Cooper is one of the best man coverage beaters in the league still. Even I believe he's 29 coming on 30 or 30 on the money. He helps, obviously. Their best receiver before was probably Khalil Shakir or Keon Coleman, whoever you want to pick out of those two. I think Amari Cooper's a big upgrade. Where do you see this taking the Bills?
I mean, the Bills are already looking really good this season.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it only just, boosts them further than, where they're looking right now. You get somebody like him and, who, like you said, he's great against, man coverage. So I think it only just boosts their team.
Absolutely, yeah. I think so. I had the Bills winning the division beforehand. So they're ranked right now. They're ranked as the 19th. This is all PFF. Every time I give a ranking, it's going to be PFF. PFF has an offensive ranked 19. Their offense is ranked 19. They're still winning. They're 4-2 now. So they add Amari Cooper. They still have Josh Allen. They're going to get James Cook back. I feel like this could push them, right? This could push them really, really, beyond a little bit here. And real quickly, guys, we're going to take a quick pause so Trey can fix his Wi-Fi. We'll be right back. Alrighty, guys, we're back after break. Trey teleported somehow. I'm not quite sure. His background's a little different. He's just Houdini, I guess. I don't really know what happened. But no, we're back. I'll hop right back into this. We were talking, Amari Cooper and the Bills, what this means, because both, AFC, the two best teams in the AFC East, got new wide receivers. I think so. I had the Bills obviously winning the AFC East beforehand, and I had them going decently far in the playoffs. I mean, I think their ceiling before this was probably a divisional round loss. I think this can take them to the AFC title game now.
Yeah,
I still think the Chiefs are better. I think we all agree on that, simply just because I will never bet against Patrick Mahomes ever I'll never pick against him for as long as he lives. I'll never do it.
Did you do it last year?
No, I didn't. I didn't do it. I picked them to win last year. I did. I picked them to win. The year before that, I did not pick them to win. So I learned my lesson. But Amari Cooper helps. If you guys have a chance, those who are listening and you guys as well, if you want to look up Josh Allen's reaction when he saw They got Amari Cooper. The genuine happiness on his face is actually really, really, it's cool to look at. I'm really excited for him. As a former Cowboys fan, I got to watch a lot of Amari Cooper, a couple years ago when he was on the Cowboys. Great player. I think he helps a lot. And he's on my fantasy football team. So I'm like, let's go, guys. Like, let's super, super excited for this. But yeah, you guys have anything else to add about these two trades?
Man, I tell you what, about Amari Cooper finally lived out that dumpster in Cleveland. Because, man, that Sean Watson is I'm sorry to say this. I know every athlete has a grind to be great. I respect the athletes that do this. But Deshaun Watson might be the biggest bust in NFL history.
Yeah. I mean, that's easily the worst trade in NFL history. Because if you look at what the Texans got for that trade, it's like actually insane. Yeah. Deshaun's untradeable. He makes guaranteed money. He's uncuttable. Browns fans, I apologize. I'm sorry. I don't know what y'all did to deserve this, but I give all Browns fans, I don't know who gave me this authority. I just gave myself this authority. But if you're a Browns fan, I give you permission to find a new team because this is embarrassing. I don't think Myles Garrett's going to last much longer. I could see him getting traded this year as well. Full rebuild. This is the worst team in football now with the worst quarterback. I guess between them and the Titans for the worst team in football, but I think the Browns are right there. But yeah,
and Panthers too, and Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers are pretty bad too. But I think the Panthers have won 2 games, right?
Yeah,
or one. I think they have won 1 game, huh? Yeah, they've won 1 game. Well, man, I don't know. The Browns have won 1 game as well. I don't see the Browns winning another game. I really don't. They couldn't even beat the Eagles, and the Eagles are interesting. So, some crazy trades today. I expect more to come.
Same.
I could see Max Crosby getting traded. I could see Myles Garrett getting traded. Really, really interesting. Really interesting. Really excited for the Bills. I really enjoy watching Josh Allen play. I think he's a great player. Yeah. A-Rod gets his guy. So, I don't know if that's going to change much, but that's our first big trades.
Tyreek should leave Miami.
Yeah, he should. I don't know if he can. I don't know if he will. He should. He should go to. There's this guy. His name's Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if Tyreek has ever seen him play or anything. I feel like their games could really fit each other. Maybe they could even win a Super Bowl together. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So we're going to jump in since we're talking about the Bills and Jets. We'll just go ahead and go over that game really briefly. That was the game yesterday. Today is obviously Tuesday, October 15th. So we're talking about Monday Night Football, October 14th. The Jets won 20. The Jets lost 20-23. Bills took that one. Really, like we mentioned a couple plays earlier, really weird. Aaron Rodgers being weird afterwards, blaming his players. Of course, said Mike Williams ran the wrong route. I don't know if that's true, but all I know is Breece Hall was wide open in the flat with 30 yards of open space, and he probably would have gotten the first down. If he didn't get that first down, he would have gotten really close, and they could have went for it on 4th. So I can't blame anyone but Aaron Rodgers. I think that's his fault because there was an open guy there who could have made play, and he threw a ball into danger. Yeah, and it was a great play from the safety on the Bills who made that play. I believe it was a safety. Taron Johnson made a great play on the ball. Great catch. Jets 2-4 now. Bills in firm control. Can the Jets catch up at all? Is there any hope for them catching up to the Bills, Trey?
No. Sorry, Green. Not at all. I'm sorry. I'm so sick and tired of hearing the hype. For many years before they had a Zach Wilson on the team, it said, give us a good QB, we go win a chip. You have a good QB now, Hall of Famer. He hasn't done jack in.
I know.
And who knows how long, but
Yeah.
I'm tired. They're done. JET, Jets, that should die.
Wow. Sorry, Jets fans. That was rough. Maybe Jaden will bring you some good news. Jaden?
Well, I think it's right now we have to see the next game. You know, how they how they play in their new trade asset.
Mm-hmm.
Because who knows? Maybe they bring him over and they play really good and they turn it around. So I think this next game and these next few games is kind of what's gonna determine if they can come back or not. I don't see a great chance of that happening, but you never know. Maybe a new player will shake some things up and work better for them.
Yeah. And speaking of the next game for the Jets, their next game is against the Steelers. That is Sunday night. So this Sunday night, it looks like Russell Wilson's going to be the starter in that game, which means as bad as Russell Wilson has been in the last couple of years, they will at least be able to throw the ball further than 10 yards. No disrespect to Justin Fields. The guy cannot throw. I mean, he cannot throw deep. But the reports are that Russell Wilson's getting the first team snaps, so he will likely at least get a shot versus the Jets. Obviously, Steelers have a great defense. Should be interesting. TJ Watt might have 17 sacks in this game. I'm not sure. He might.
Yeah.
There's a good chance. Really interested to see this new look Jets team versus the Steelers, who have a good defense. It'll be a good test for them right off the bat. PFF has them ranked tied for 17th in offense this year so far. So it will be interesting to see if they're able to, get crack into that top 10. Because obviously Devontae Adams is one of the best route runners in the NFL right now. So, and for some reason, his hamstring injury was magically healed the moment he left Las Vegas. I'm not sure what happened. He's been out for 3 weeks for a hamstring injury, and now he's going to play on Sunday. So getting traded heals all wounds and injuries. It just makes you feel a whole lot better. But yeah, AFC East is an interesting one. I think the Bills are just going to coast the rest of the year. They have a good 2-game lead. The Jets have to play the Steelers, Patriots, Texans, Cardinals, Colts before their bye. And then afterwards, they're going to finish off with Seattle, Dolphins, Jaguars, Rams, Bills, Miami, or the Dolphins again. That's a pretty weak schedule for the remainder. Mm-hmm. They can win some games there. Right now, just so you guys know, right now, I'm going to call it right now, 2 weeks beforehand, Drake May is going to throw a party on the Jets and win that game in week 8.
Yeah.
I book it. Mark me down, bookmark me, come back. If I'm wrong, I'll give you nothing, but I'll give you a high five. That's what you'll get. Now, we'll talk about Drake May in a little bit, but yeah, moving on here. We're going to jump back a little bit. We're kind of trying out a new different format, so we're going to jump back a little bit. We'll go Thursday night. I wanted to talk about this game real quick because last week, me and Trey kind of unloaded on Brock Purdy a little bit, and he responded with a pretty solid game against the Seahawks. Niners won that game 36-24. So, Trey, I'll let you take it from here. Do you think Brock Purdy, did he do anything to change your mind?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, that defense in Seattle is so banged up, man. It's not the same no more. It's not the same at all no more. Brock Purdy I will admit the first quarter, second quarter too was a little shaky from the Niners. I don't know if you watched the game, Jaden, but
yeah,
it was a little shaky. And
yeah, for sure.
I'm just gonna say that team is so overrated, like really overrated. They need CMC back. Without CMC, man, they only given up 73 yards for Jordan Mason. CMC can run over that defense, but he's injured.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got overhyped because they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they did.
And everybody expected a bunch from them this season. I think this really doesn't give me any like hope for the Niners or anything, because Brock Purdy's been doing this the past few games where he'd have a really good game and then the next game's not so good, and then he's kind of going back and forth. He hasn't consistently been having good games. So
yeah, That's true. It's been a rough couple of weeks for the Seahawks. They were 3-0. Now they're 3-3, tied with the Niners at the top of the division. The NFC West is an interesting one because beforehand, everyone said it was easily. If you ask someone a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, NFC West is easily the best division in the NFC, like by far. And now it looks more and more each single day. We're going to talk about a couple of these teams a lot, but it looks like each week the NFC North is obviously significantly better. So the West is still up for grabs. Even the Rams, who are 1-4, they're going to get Cooper Kupp back. They're going to get more healthy. They could make a run. The Cardinals dropped to 2-4 with a loss because the moment that Kyler Murray talked about his Call of Duty partnership, they lose.
11 games.
I'm not going to be saying anything about that because I obviously don't know what goes on in Kyler Murray's personal life. But maybe he should get off the game if he's playing it. I don't know. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. But it's kind of strange how you lose right after that. Shellacking to the Green Bay Packers. Moving on to another game here. I wanted to cover this real quickly. It was the London game. I don't know if you guys are able to watch it. It was an earlier one. It was pretty early in the morning. I believe kickoff was 8:30 for Central Standard Time. The Bears took on the Jaguars in London at Tottenham Stadium where the Tottenham Spurs play. And the Bears just put on an absolute clinic. It was a great game for Bears, the Bears fans, Caleb Williams fans. It was, his best or his second best game in the NFL so far. Goes for 226 on 29 passes, 23 completions, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 124 rating. Trey, what's been the most impressive thing about Caleb Williams' progression so far this year for you?
He's getting a lot better than he first started. I think that guy's arm strength is so amazing. Even his arm talent,
he's crazy.
I mean, this is why he's number 1 pick in the draft. And for those out here there saying he's a bust and all that, well, guess what? Pipe down. He had 4 TDs, 1 interception, 226 yards, 23 out of 29 passing completion. So, pipe down, guys. I mean, no one's going to be Mahomes or CJ Stroud or Jaden Daniels or Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
So, as far as I'm concerned, that rookie of the year status still went up.
Yeah, definitely. Jaden, I'll let you go here. Like what? So we've talked about his progression. I'm not going to do the thing where I talk about his passer rating each week because for the first time in literally the whole season, his passer rating didn't get significantly better because he's kind of really close to that threshold, that 158 threshold. He's a 124. What's been the most impressive thing for you for Caleb Williams in his progression this far?
I think just his consistency overall. I mean, he obviously, his first game was a little shaky, but, it was his first game in the NFL, so that's understandable. But,
yeah,
he has consistently gotten better, and he's consistently, he's been playing very consistent. He hasn't been going down. He hasn't, going down on his stats at all. It's either been, the same or better. So,
right.
As a rookie to, come out and do that, that looks really good on him. So, I think just me personally, just him being consistent.
Right. Yeah. So he threw for 4 touchdowns, obviously his best of the year. He had a 5th one to DJ Moore, got called back, and then I believe DeAndre Swift ran it in. So he could have had 5 touchdowns. On the year now, he's 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 1,300 yards. Jaden Daniels is 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That race is all of a sudden super tight. Both teams are 4-2. Caleb Williams has better touchdowns, a little more interceptions. Jaden has slightly more yards. That's a super, super close race now, I think. I thought Malik Neighbors could have been in there, but he's obviously been out from the concussion. Yeah. So for me, I think the most impressive thing of Caleb Williams is he's going through his progressions now, right? If you watch, he'll look right, look middle, look left, and then go back right, or look left, right, middle, right, go back to his, sometimes these passes he's completing are to his third or fourth option. So instead of him being like, I got to run out, I got to make a play, he's going through his progressions. There's a video going through all over the internet of him looking right or looking left, looking middle, looking right. Then he goes back to his check down. Really, really good to see from someone as talented as him. Knowing this early on, it's okay to not take the big Superman plays every time. Let your guys make some plays. I think Mahomes had to learn that after he lost Tyreek Hill. I think, Tom Brady was really good at that his whole career. Obviously, some of the greats like Aaron Rodgers and Joe Montana were also very good at that. And the mixture of having that rocket arm, like Trey was saying, his arm, he's got a rocket on his arm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he throws an accurate, good-looking spiral. At the beginning of the year, in episode 1 of the redacted episode, or we could call it the episode that never was, we made our picks, and I had the Bears going to the playoffs, and I feel really good about that still. I think I'll echo what what a couple of the people in the sports media world have said. I believe the toughest thing about the Bears now is their division. Yeah. For the first time in forever, the Bears have a good quarterback and they have good weapons, but now all of a sudden their division is insane. Crazy division. We'll talk about a couple of those teams here in a little bit, but I want to hop over to the other side of the ball real quick. Oh, big shout out to Keenan Allen. He was awesome. He came back. He was a great red zone threat. Dude, the Bears got weapons, guys, all over the place. All of a sudden, DeAndre Swift remembered how to play football. Cole Kmet caught a touchdown. Then they lost their long snapper during this game. Cole Kmet's the backup long snapper. So Cole Kmet catches a touchdown, then goes and snaps the ball to the kicker for the extra point. He did that twice. I'm like, oh, my goodness. They got a super talented young tight end, Cole Kmet. They got the veteran guy, Keenan Allen. They got the guy right in his prime, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze. Oh, my word. Weapons all over the place. If that O-line can stay healthy, the Bears could be scary, scary, scary good. Caleb Williams is 22, guys. Mm-hmm. He's going to be in this league for 15 years plus. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for him as a player. I'm glad I was never one of those guys that said he was overhyped. Like someone I know. I won't name any names, of course. But they have since.
I did say that. But guess what? You know what happened? This guy's impressed me a lot. I'm proud of this guy, man. I haven't won. I had it before that season started. The episode we had that never got posted up. I said Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
I did say that.
Yeah, I'll give you big credit for you've admitted that what you thought about him was wrong, and that's the best thing that you could do there because he's a baller, man. Hop on the bandwagon now. Because if you do it now, in 10 years from now, when he's a multiple-time MVP and won a Super Bowl or two, you won't look very, very dumb, right? You'll be like, I thought I was on the bandwagon when he was a rookie. So really, really exciting. I know they haven't played great teams. I get that. But the thing is, he's doing what he needs to do. If you have a rookie QB, you want to win football games. It doesn't matter who you play. He's just playing who he gets to play against. And now that he's actually had time to really develop, they have a bye week, and then they have what I hope to be one of the games of the year versus the Commanders in Washington. That's going to be awesome. Oh, yeah. The two young guys going at it. They get Commanders. So after the bye, Commanders, Cardinals, Patriots. Those are three. I think the Commanders will be tough, but that defense is not very good.
Yeah.
He'll be able to cook. Cardinals, not a very good defense. Patriots, not a very good defense. Then the schedule gets hard. They get their first Vikings game, Lions, Niners, Vikings, Lions. Whew.
Yeah. That's rough.
Seahawks, Packers 10. That's going to be rough, but he's had 6 games to develop and get better. These teams are going to get the best version of Caleb Williams this year's best version. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited, super excited for the rest of the Bears. I watch every Bears game now. He's that good.
Yeah.
You know how many Bears games I watched before the season?
None.
It was one because they played against the Cowboys. That was literally like when Mitch Trubisky ran for like 900 yards. That was the only one I remember. So yeah. I want to talk about the other team they played really quickly here. The Jaguars, dude.
Man, what in the world is happening to this team?
They're 1-5. They look like one of the worst teams in the NFL. I didn't even think Trevor Lawrence played that bad.
No.
He wasn't horrible. They can't stop anything. There's no organization. The team, they had 8 penalties. They look horribly coached. Doug Peterson needs to get fired.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He just needs to get fired. He needs to stay in London is what he needs to do. He needs to have a nice vacation in London. But Trey, like, what's going on with the Jags, man? Like, is there what's the hope?
Trevor Lawrence, I'm going to put a Zimmerville on Trevor Lawrence too, because right now he has 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and 1,300 yards and yards. Yeah, his passing grade is 72, offensive grade is 74, and that's pretty low, man. I mean, if you're gonna give this guy a win give him credit for the win, we should also give him some blame for the loss too. He's part of the offensive scheme. So I'm disappointed by his team. I mean, I thought. Nick, you can say this. You talked to me. You talked about this before this podcast happens. You thought he was the 3rd best QB in the NFL. He ain't playing like it this year. This team, man. I don't know. I here do something, man. Fire the whole staff. But I don't know.
I don't know. Do something, bro. Like, so they started 8-2 last year. Yeah. Trevor goes down. Or 8-3, sorry. Trevor goes down. Since then, he has won 1 game.
Oh, man.
That was last year when they were 8-3. It's a lot of football. I don't know. Jaden, do you have anything else to add about the Jags, or are we all in very distressed modes about the Jags?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to them. That's, there's not much more to say about it.
Yeah,
Nick Wright better take that guy off that Mahomes Mountain list.
He's on the very bottom row, right? From today, he's on the bottom row.
Nick Wright, if you're watching this, brother, take the guy off. He shouldn't even be on that mountain the way he's playing.
He's pretty close to being off. He's on the very bottom. Here we got Trevor Lawrence. So PFF has him ranked as the 13th QB right now. 74 rating. I'm sure a lot of that is given the fact that, the team itself's not very good. I don't know if I'd probably take there's probably 13 QBs I'd take over him. We'll talk.
Brock Purdy's on his list, man. I can't.
I don't know. The Jags are cooked. That's all I know. The Jags are super cooked. Yeah, man. Rough day to be a Jags fan. Have you guys ever met a Jags fan? No offense to any Jags fans.
I haven't met one.
I've never met a Jags fan in my life.
I don't know one.
I'm probably not even talking to anybody. I apologize. Sorry, I'm talking to nobody right now. Moving on here, I want to cover a couple more games here from the NFL. Then we'll move over to a couple college football games. The Ravens played the Commanders.
That was a good game.
That was a good game. I want to talk about this one because the Commanders came in super hot. Jaden Daniels played fine. He played really good. 269 yards, 2 touchdowns. He ran for only 22 yards. the Commanders had nothing on the ground. Ravens played solid. The first time the defense actually looked decent all year. Derrick Henry is an absolute monster.
Oh, yeah.
He's an absolute monster.
Yeah.
I mean, did this game make you feel better about the Ravens defense, Trey?
No.
Okay.
I mean, their offense is carrying the whole load, man. I mean, last year their defense was really elite and triple crown defense, but this year it doesn't look the same at all.
Yeah.
I mean, they're giving up. Let me see. Hold up. They're giving up about. Sorry, guys. They've given up so much. They gave up so much touchdowns. I can't believe it. Their passing defense is really struggling, but I don't know what's wrong with their passing defense. I don't know what's wrong with it. But it's like the Cowboys, but opposite.
Yeah.
That's how bad that defense is. Other than that, Lamar Jackson, that guy's him and Derrick Henry.
They're balling, man. They're balling. Yeah. I mean, Zay Flowers is really coming to his own as a wide receiver one.
Yeah.
They have the number one rated offense on Pro Football Focus. I mean, their last 4 games, 28, 35, 41, 30. Since that Raiders loss, man, they've won 4 straight games.
Yeah.
They look really good. They get to play Tampa. That'll be interesting because the Buccaneers are also really hot. Then they get to play Deshaun Watson. So that'll be interesting to see how many points the Browns can lose by. My guess is 35. Probably 45-10 be my guess. Then they play the Bengals again. Yeah, I mean, I think this was a good sign for the Ravens defense because they'd been struggling so bad. Jaden, do you think that this is kind of like the turnaround moment for this Ravens defense?
I think so. I think that, I think knowing that, seeing a game like this, for them personally, knowing that they can play good defense, I think it'll, kind of boost their confidence a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah, I mean, the Commanders were tied for the most points scored so far, 178. That's a really good offense led by a really good quarterback and really solid weapons, and they held them to 23 points. And so far this year, they haven't scored 23 points since week 2 when they won. They beat the Giants 21-18, then they scored 38, then they scored 42, then they scored 34. So they were coming in super hot, super on fire. But yeah, I really do think this could help the Ravens. They're looking really good. They're kind of coming into their own this year so far after that slow start. Commanders get to play the Panthers, and then they go to play. They stay at home and play Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams and the Bears. So yeah, I think that was a fun game. That was interesting.
Yeah, and Lamar Jackson now 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1,500 yards.
He's balling, man. I think if my season ended right now, I think I'd give MVP to Josh Allen, but Lamar Jackson would be number 2 on my ballot right now because these last 4 games he has stepped up. He's been unbelievably good. I would just give it to Josh because Josh didn't have as many weapons, but now that he has Amari Cooper, really interested to see that. CJ Stroud is also up there as well. And speaking of CJ Stroud, I want to hop over to that Texans-Patriots game. Not really to talk about the Texans because we know the Texans are good. We know CJ Stroud's a bad man. They scored 41 points. They're 5-1. They look like the second best team in the AFC or second or third best team in the AFC. CJ Stroud did what he needed to do, but Drake May, man, his first start in the NFL, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had some picks. So did Peyton Manning, right? I don't really care about how many picks a rookie throws. I care about how they throw the football and if they're able to score. He scored 3 times. He looked good. He's got a big arm, obviously very physically gifted. Could you guys see Drake May like at the end of the year? We're talking about him in that same tier of Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, Trey?
I think so. I mean, Patriots fans are hyped up now because I mean since Tom Brady left, they haven't done jack. But now that team's gonna look scary too, and the people are gonna hate them again. People are gonna say they're cheating, but even though they didn't cheat, but that's
well, that's debatable. But we'll talk about that some other time.
yeah. But still, as of right now, he's out there with right now Caleb and Jaden Daniels.
What do you think, Jaden?
I agree. I mean, he came out and really put on a show for himself. And,
He did.
Yeah.
I think it was one of those deals where he was like, I don't know how many more chances I'm gonna get at this,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna show everybody what I can do, and maybe that way he can get himself some more playing time.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think he earned himself the starting spot. He threw touchdowns to 3 different receivers: Demario Douglas, Keyshawn Butte, I think is probably how you say his last name. Funny sounding last name, but it looks like Butte to me, not like Bootay, but Boutte. That's Booty right there. Keyshawn Booty caught a touchdown, and Hunter Henry caught a touchdown as well. If I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize. It really looks like Butte. I'm actually going to do a quick. I'm going to look up here how you say that name. Has he ever? How would you say that, guys? Help me out here. Booty? Is it Boutet?
No,
Boutet.
it can't be Boutet.
It might be Boutet.
Boutet.
I think I like Boutte more.
Boutte.
It has to be Tay.
Hold on. I'm watching a video. I'm trying to figure this out on live television. It's not live. Oh, it's Booty. This guy said Keyshawn Booty. I was right. His name is Keyshawn Booty. Okay, that's awesome. I love that.
He doesn't play that way though, so
he doesn't. He doesn't look Booty. He looks really, really good. He actually looks really, really good. So, like I was saying, sorry about. I had to figure that out, guys. So he throws a touchdown to Mario Douglas, to Keyshawn Booty, and to Hunter Henry. Yeah, man. Hey, Drake May didn't look Booty. I'll tell you that, and neither did Keyshawn. The only thing Booty about that team is his last name. Because I guess, and their O-line and their defense, but Drake May and the offense didn't look Booty. That's funny. Wow, Keyshawn Booty, awesome. Yeah. Anyways,
We learned a lot.
Yeah, we learned a lot. If you know anything after this episode, that there's a Patriots wide receiver with the last name Booty. So, yeah. I don't know if that guy who's talking said his name was saying it wrong or not. I apologize in advance if it's Boutet, but Booty sounds way funnier, so we're going to go with that. But yeah, Drake may look good. I think at the end of the year he could be, in that same tier. Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, maybe the third guy. Trey's over here cracking up about Booty still. He's going to be laughing about that for weeks. Yeah. Other than that, not really much. We know we learned what we thought about the Texans. They're going to beat a bad team by 20 points. CJ Stroud's a bad man, and Drake May is not Booty. So we're going to move on. We're going to move on to a completely different game because Trey's not going to be able to contain himself. I think I want to go over just briefly the Buccaneers game. They played the Saints. They dropped 51 on the Saints.
Man.
Baker Mayfield, man, he's also on my MVP ballot. I like to pretend like I have a ballot or like I have a vote. I don't at all, obviously. But so he struggled early. He threw 3 picks, and then he went on a tirade of touchdowns.
Yeah.
They scored 51 points. Sean Tucker came out of nowhere. Rookie running back. They have 2 rookie running backs, Bucky Irving, Sean Tucker, and he goes for 136 yards on 14 carries and a touchdown. Just absolutely goes crazy. Chris Godwin had a fantastic game, 125 yards, 11 catches, 2 touchdowns. What do you think about the Bucs, Trey? What do you think?
Man, they're not Booty, that's for sure.
They're not Booty, that's for sure.
They're not. But that team is a sleeper team. Watch out for that team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you, Baker Mayfield right now. Hate to say it, but he's MVP candidate right now.
I mean, definitely.
I
Definitely
mean,
is.
I don't like saying that because I first thought he was a big bust for sure, but I thought he was pretty as a rookie. And
I think anyone. Oh wow! I didn't realize Baker had 15 touchdowns. Never mind. I think he would probably be my MVP. Wow.
Yeah,
He's first in 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, almost 1,500 yards. Wow. I didn't even realize his numbers were that good.
That guy is insane. Good.
Wow. Okay. I think Baker would probably be my MVP right now. Sheesh. What I was going to say is I think we should give anyone drafted to the Browns give them 8 years, because the Browns are going to take 3 years and completely ruin him. Then he's going to have to bounce around and remember how to play football for another 3 years, and then 2 years to actually get back into it. And then around in that area, he starts playing good again. That's kind of what happened to Baker. Went to the Browns, turned him around, played great, got hurt, played through injury. He went through 17 different offensive coordinators. They cut him, or they traded him. I forgot what exactly happened. He bounces around, goes to the Rams, goes to the Panthers, ends up on a great team with a great head coach. Todd Bowles deserves a ton of credit. Yeah. Trey, I know you're not the biggest Todd Bowles fan.
Now he did what he did to Tom Brady.
Well, maybe he wanted a quarterback who wasn't 900 years old. No offense to Tom Brady, obviously one of the best to ever do it, but he was kind of up there in age. But he's he's been great. Baker's been great. The team's been great. They got weapons everywhere. Yeah. Jaden, what do you think about the Bucs, man?
They're looking good. I mean, like you said, I agree with you with putting Baker Mayfield right now, as that MVP.
Wow, that's crazy, yeah.
Those are crazy numbers. I didn't even realize that until you said something about it.
I saw it too. I'm like, what in the world? Yeah. Almost 1,500,000 yards.
Yeah.
And then top of that, he has a 70% passing completion too.
Yeah, that's insane. He's got
only 5 interceptions too.
Man,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And he had 3 of them last game.
Yeah.
Wow. That's very, very impressive. I'm super impressed with him. He's added 2 touchdowns on the ground as well, 17 total. I don't really care too much about rushing touchdowns for quarterbacks, but those are still points he's doing. He's playing well. He's playing really, really well. I'm pretty impressed with this guy. I think we have figured out that the Saints actually suck now. They have completely fallen off a cliff. Of course, they rock the Cowboys because everybody does, but they have really turned it around. Turned it around in the bad way, and a really bad way. They have lost a bunch of games in a row. Not in a row, I guess. They're 2-4 now. Yeah, rough. Buccaneers look good. Buccaneers look really good. I don't, unless y'all have anything else to add on them, I think we can move on.
I mean, man. What happened? What happened to this team? I don't know what happened to this team.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just think the Saints don't want to play football anymore.
Yeah, they got their win versus the Cowboys. They don't really care about much else. So there's a couple other games that we could talk about, Cleveland, Philly, that was boring. Philly sucks. Browns suck. Sorry, Philly. You beat the Browns by 4 after a bye week. I'm not impressed.
Yeah, man.
I'm not impressed. I don't even want to talk about it. You disgust me. Tennessee, Colts, blah, blah, no offense, right? But I do want to talk about the worst team in the NFL, I think, probably.
Oh man!
Oh no!
The Dallas Cowboys, the Lions visiting Jerry World
on Jerry's birthday.
On Jerry's birthday, dropped 47 on their head and held them to 9 points. I think Jared Goff's another guy I have up there in the MVP right now, just because the Lions were my preseason NFC winner. I still think that way. The Cowboys suck. They suck. They're bad. It's time to just talk about the Cowboys being bad.
Yeah.
They are 3-3. Their wins are not impressive. They barely beat Justin Fields. No offense. They got shellacked by the Saints. They get absolutely embarrassed by the Ravens and then put on a fake comeback. Their only wins are the Browns, the Giants, and the Steelers. The Browns have the worst quarterback in the NFL. The Giants, I don't even know if they have a quarterback. The Steelers don't know if they have a quarterback. And every time they play a decent team, not including the Saints, who just whooped them, they lose. They can't stop the run. The Steelers game was a fluke. They just can't stop it. I thought that there was maybe some kind of thing. Oh, no, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs reminded me that there's still a big problem stopping the run. The Lions go for almost 500 total yards of offense. They go for 184 yards on the ground, over 5 yards a carry. Jared Goff completes 70% of his passes, throws for 3 touchdowns, a 153 rating. Guys, that's perfect. He had a perfect passer rating, 153.8. Trey, just unleash. Go for it.
First of all, what Jerry Jones did to that radio host this morning, that was crap on Jerry Jones, by the way. That's number one.
For references, Jerry Jones was talking to a reporter this morning, and he got angry, started yelling at him, said, "You don't question me. I'm the one that makes all the moves. You guys can go find it." But it was basically Jerry Jones throwing a fit. Go ahead.
On the air on radio.
On radio.
So we got, I don't know what to say right now. I'm speechless right now. I just can't. I first saw last week we had like a chance of winning the division. I thought we did. Turns out that was a fraud. This team's a fraud. This team sucks. I turn 22 next week. I don't think I'll ever see the Cowboys win in my lifetime because of Jerry Jones. If I'm the Cowboys right now, I'm blowing everything up. Blowing up the QB. Dak Prescott looked terrible on Sunday.
Horrible.
I don't think this dude didn't even throw a touchdown, or he haven't thrown it. That's how bad that team was.
42 passer rating.
Oh, that's my grade in math, by the way. That's how bad that team was.
Trey exposing himself for the detriment of Dak Prescott.
I literally am. And look at this on Pro Football Focus. Look at their defensive rating. It goes down and down and down. And here we are. We them boys, right? No, we ain't no boys. I don't know what to say. I can't. The Cowboys blow it up. Jerry Jones, it's retire rating. Dak Prescott, you ain't good at all no more. You got that money. You don't look the same way you did last year. Ezekiel Elliott, you're washed up already. Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence and Trayvon Diggs. Let's blow it up. This team actually sucks. I can't.
Jaden?
Can't.
Yeah, I would be shocked if they make it to the playoffs.
You probably
Shocked.
won't.
Shocked. I'd be shocked. Yeah. I'd be shocked. I want. Man, this is hard to talk about.
I know.
Like, it's that bad. It's really that bad. Wow.
We don't have. Talk about that. We don't have a run game either. We have no
no running game. Zero running game.
Running game.
You really don't have anything.
So I guess the only way to talk about it is to just start. I want to start with Dak. I want to preface this by saying I think Dak Prescott is an amazing human being. He's won Walter Payton Man of the Year award. He's done great things off the field. He seems like an incredibly genuine person. He does great for his community. He's extremely nice. He has no issues off the field whatsoever. So I everything I say has nothing to do with him as a human being, because I think he's a fantastic human being and I respect him a lot as a person. He is the most frustrating quarterback to try to root for.
He's very frustrating.
Because as a former Cowboys fan, as you all know, I have given up my fandom. And the penalty for that is you're not allowed to have a favorite team anymore. I accepted that. I accepted that penalty. I'm not allowed to have a favorite team anymore because I removed myself from the fandom. But when I was a fan, all the things I just said, how great of a person he was, you want him to succeed so bad because he's such a good person. He's such a good role model. He does so many great things. He's like so close to being elite, so close. He's got a solid arm. He's got fantastic leadership. He's a decent runner, especially before his ankle injury. He was a fantastic runner, especially his rookie year. He does a lot of things great. He does a lot of things good, but he cannot lift his team up.
No, he can't.
If he doesn't have elite weapons and an elite O-line and an elite run game, he cannot win. He can't. And if his defense doesn't hold guys to 20 or less, he can't win when it matters. He can't beat good teams. He can't win in the playoffs. He can't. The only like situations where he can play well is when everything's going perfectly. And newsflash, your GM's and owner is Jerry Jones. Nothing goes perfectly anymore because he can't. I'm going to unleash on Jerry here in a little bit, but he can't lift up. What do these great quarterbacks do? They lift their guys up. Mahomes. Oh, okay. I'm not even going to use Mahomes as an example because he's so out of the reach of everyone else. He's in his own stratosphere right now. Josh Allen. Does Josh Allen have any good weapons outside of Amari Cooper now? No. He's got Khalil Shakir. Serviceable. Would be a great wide receiver 3. Keon Coleman, rookie. Could be good. Dalton Kincaid, solid tight end. Dawson Knox, okay. James Cook, good running back. That's all he has. And he's 4-2 in his division, and he's winning. And he's proven he can win regardless of the situation. He can win without his defense going great. For another example would be C.J. Stroud last year. As a rookie, he had a mix and match of O-lines, swapping back and forth. Nico Collins didn't really emerge until CJ got there. He didn't have a lot of good situations. He rose his guys up. Now we consider Nico Collins one of the best wide receivers in the league. Now we consider Tank Dell an awesome weapon. Now all of a sudden Dalton Schultz is a great tight end. Why? Because of CJ Stroud. He lifts his guys up. Yeah. Mahomes lifts his guys up. Josh Allen lifts his guys up. Lamar Jackson lifts his guys up. Dude, you can start naming not Brock Purdy. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. A lot of guys lift their guys up. Dak can't do it. Mm-hmm. And last year, PFF had him ranked at 90. That's his best year of his career by far last year. 90. This year, so far, his rating's been a 65.5. Not going to cut it. Your team got worse. You got paid. You have to lift the slack up yourself.
Yeah.
That's what Dakota Prescott has to do, is lift his team up, and he can't do it. He can't do it.
Real quick before you continue on. There's a clip on TikTok. I don't know if you saw it, about Troy Aikman getting mad at his players, that anger he had with his teammates. Yelling at the coaches on TikTok. It's like an old clip back in the 90s when he was playing. That's what a winner does. And this guy, Dak Prescott, doesn't hold anybody accountable, doesn't hold receivers accountable.
He lets CD yell at him all the time.
Yeah, if that was Tom Brady or that, oh man.
Tom Brady would throw the tablet at his head.
If that was that, I mean, Patrick Mahomes. If that was Mahomes, man.
Mahomes, yeah.
I mean, this guy has no accountability, no leadership at all whatsoever. I'm sorry to say this, but he's a soft leader. He's a terrible leader. I love Dak. He's better than Romo. He saved the Cowboys for Romo, but Dak Prescott is a terrible leader.
Yeah, I almost just wonder if you were to like cut his paycheck like super low and be like you'll earn the rest of it back if you start like playing better, if it would give him motivation to play better.
I don't even know. I don't even know if he has the capability of playing better.
Yeah, I don't know either.
And guess what? Stephen A. Smith said this about his negotiation pay. He is right. He's 2-8 in the playoffs. He hasn't done jack in 8 years being an NFL quarterback. Stephen A. Smith said he was worth $100 million in Dak Prescott, ain't worth $68 million at all. He ain't worth that money at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed. The reason they gave him so much money is because, I don't actually know why, because Jerry Jones doesn't like have normal human thoughts. But if it were me, if I was giving a guy that much money, I'll use Mahomes as an example. When they gave Mahomes $500 million, they knew they weren't going to be able to pay Tyreek. They knew they were going to have to lose some pieces. But what'd they say? We have that guy. We can overcome it. He can keep us afloat while we rebuild.
Yeah.
In terms of they got tons of picks back. They turned those picks into defense. They're like, you know what? We can help Mahomes on the other end. We'll give him a good defense. What does he do? He goes back to back. 2 years ago when he won the Super Bowl, who was his number one receiver? Juju Smith freaking Schuster, a TikToker, was his number one wide receiver. He won a freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He won a freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady had Hamilton, Amendola, Russ Walker. What did he do? He held him accountable. He held him accountable. He held Gronkowski, who's a big goofball, accountable. Dak Prescott, if you watch this, I love you, bro. I thank you for a good season, good year, good career. But Jerry Jones, traded this guy. He's not worth $60 million at all. He is not him. He's not that guy at all. He's a James Harden of the NFL. He's up and down. He's a roller coaster. He is not that guy.
Yeah, I mean, if you pay a guy $60 million, you want him to be able to beat good teams. He just can't do it.
He can't do it, man.
I'm this is off the top of my head. I'm gonna go quarterbacks I'd rather have over Dak Prescott right now. You guys tell me if you agree, okay? I'm gonna get the first couple out of the way. Just obvious. Mahomes.
Yeah, for sure.
We all obviously agree on that. Josh Allen.
For sure.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd take Joe Burrow without an arm at this point. So I'm at 6. I'm at 6 right now. Jaden Daniels.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm at 8 now. Let me think here. I know I'm at Jordan Love.
Oh, I take that. Yeah.
I'm taking it. Well, Jordan Love whooped him, right? He actually whooped him. So I'm at 9 right now. Let me think. Justin Herbert. I'd take Herbert over him.
And Kirk Cousins. I'll take.
And I'd take Kirk. We're at 11 now. I'm at 11. Would you guys take Aaron Rodgers at this point?
I would. I'm not going to. I would.
I probably would. I probably would. That's 12.
I'll take Tom Brady in the booth. Nick.
Sorry, I muted myself. I'd take Jared Goff. Would y'all take Jared Goff over him?
Yeah.
I'm so upset I muted myself. I'm at 13. Am I missing anybody?
Man. Dude, I'll take Gardner Mint. No, I won't take Gardner Mint.
Okay. Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
I'd take Kyler. I'm at 14. What about
Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford, obviously, 16.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord, we're at 16 quarterbacks. There's like one more. Okay, would y'all take Drake May over him right now?
Yeah, the way he played yesterday, yeah, you would.
Just because he's young and has like all this potential. That's if y'all, that's 17. Okay, so give or take 17 for sure. 12 quarterbacks that we would take over Dak right now. Dak's the highest paid player in the NFL.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve it. Right now, his passing rating is 64.6. Last year is an 87.870 passing rating. That's a downgrade.
And
He has 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and 16,000.
I don't want to obviously put all the blame on him because Jerry Jones deserves a lot of it too. But I'm of the thing that if the guy gets all the credit when you win, you got to give him blame when he loses.
Yeah,
I just don't think that Dak can lift his team up. Obviously, Mike McCarthy is a joke of a head coach. Dak's not in the greatest situation, but guess what? That's what makes you an elite quarterback. If you can overcome a bad situation, CJ Stroud overcame a bad situation. Joe Burrow, when he first got to the Bengals, overcame a bad situation. Lamar Jackson has had to overcome lots of different hurdles and things of that nature. Josh Allen brought the Buffalo Bills back to actually being good, and I could go on and Baker Mayfield had to overcome literally almost his entire career falling out from under him, and he's lifted the Buccaneers back up. And Caleb Williams has had to overcome really bad O-line play and being a rookie at the very beginning. And I think he's already better than Dak. Like, it's just like,
yeah,
I can't, man.
And I like I said, everything I said has nothing to do with him as a person because I still think he's a great person.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's just not the guy. And this is going to be a really long Cowboys talk. I'm sorry, but now we have to talk about Jerry Jones. Trey, why don't you just go ahead? I'm just going to let you have this one here for a little bit.
Okay. So I watch a lot of NFL sports shows, FS1 shows, ESPN, even some podcasters too. And listen to some radios too along the way of it too. But Marcus Spears brought this up a couple weeks ago, Nick, and I don't think you're on here. I think you're in California. But he said this. He said that Jerry Jones, the past 5 seasons, have failed the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
He has failed the Cowboys. Since Jimmy Johnson left the Cowboys, what have they done? Nothing. I'll start off with that one person. That's when everything blew up. Yes, Barry Switzer came on that team, but he won with Jimmy's team.
He won with Jimmy's team.
That wasn't Barry Switzer's
That wasn't Barry's team.
Since then, we drafted the most all-time all Pro Bowlers in the draft behind the Chiefs. We haven't had one Super Bowl show for it. Not one. We have 2 Hall of Fame all seasons we have had. Deion Sanders and Terrell Owens. Now, since then, not one. We could have gone Derrick Henry last year in the offseason. We could have gotten Odell Beckham Jr. when he was really good. We could have gotten we could have kept Amari Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
We could have kept Tyron Smith to this point. Could have kept signed DeMarcus Ware. But this team is Jerry Jones. You're not a Hall of Famer. I don't know why that dude's in the Hall of Fame. That's number one. You don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, Jerry Jones. Jerry, it's time to hang it up, bro. Give it to someone else. Not your son, not your wife. Give it to another family. Let someone build that franchise up again. Jerry Jones has failed the Dallas Cowboys. Since Jimmy Johnson left that team, he has failed the Cowboys. And guess what? We're gonna hear this all the time from Stephen A. Smith, from Shannon Sharp, all these NFL people on ESPN or FS1 were an accident waiting to happen because of Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, you could have gone Bill Belichick, brother, but you didn't get Bill Belichick at all. Could have gone Jim Harbaugh. You could have gone someone. You could have gone Sean Payton 2 years ago. But we haven't done jack because Jerry Jones is the GM and the owner of the franchise. I can't. Jerry Jones, you're the worst owner in the history of the NFL. Robert Kraft, that should have been you, bro. That should have been you, Jerry Jones. You know, if I'm Jerry Jones, if I'm in the Hall of Fame for the NFL, get off. I take him off in the Hall of Fame. Take him off. He doesn't deserve it. That's all I gotta say. I can't.
Jaden, kind of hard to go after that, right?
Yeah.
Just like you felt the anger in his voice.
Yeah. No, I mean, basically, everything that Trey said. But, I don't even know. I just feel like he's stuck into this mindset that everything that he's doing is right.
It's not.
Yeah.
What is he telling us since Jimmy Johnson when he fired Jimmy Johnson? Not one thing.
Yeah, and I think another thing is like, I think he's so focused and wrapped around the business side of the sport and making money off of it than actually, trying to, build a team that's gonna, do good. Because, paying Dak all this money just so he can keep him and not lose him, regardless, of how good or bad he is. I think he's looking more on the business side of things and how he could put more money in his pockets. Because I don't see any other reason, why, he's still doing this, other than the fact that he's making a lot of money to do it. I guarantee you there's been people, obviously there has been, telling him to hang it up, to his face. And I guarantee you he sees the media and everything, but I think he's stuck in this, world where he thinks that everything that he's doing is, right, and that everybody else is wrong. So.
Yeah. And then not only that, here's the deal. I'm in media. I'm majoring in sports broadcasting as my career. I will never want to cover a Cowboys team ever again. I thought about it. That was my dream. One of my dreams to do. My goals to do. That turns out the window. I'll do it if the opportunity comes up. I'll for sure do it. But as of right now, I don't want to do it. Until something changes on that team, I don't want to cover that team at all.
Yeah, Jerry Jones has it's just kind of like you feel the somberness, right? Even me as a former fan, I'm not even a fan anymore, and I just can't believe it. It's like a lot of what Jaden said, a lot of what Trey said, but also he's like wondering why the team's not gotten better when he's done nothing to make the team better.
Yeah,
you're the GM, buddy. You're the one that calls people. Devontae Adams just got traded for a third rounder. Amari Cooper just got traded for a third rounder. You could have gotten Derrick Henry. You literally had the money for Derrick Henry. You could have done something to help stop this run. Anything, bro. I don't care. I don't care if you have to get Bubble Bass from SpongeBob in the middle of the freaking D-line to stop the run. I don't care. Get him. I don't care, bro. You could have done anything. Anything. Just go find the biggest guy you can find and put him in the middle of the. I don't care anymore, bro. I don't care, bro. Just. Bro, it's just shameful, bro. It's just shameful. It's just a shame that you can be so incompetent as a GM when you act like you're so smart and you're yelling at people on the radio. Don't tell me how to do my job. Bro, we need to, because you suck at your job. You suck at your job. You have not won a a championship in 40 years.
I wasn't even alive yet, bro.
I wasn't even born yet, and I'm old, and I wasn't born yet.
Michael Jordan was still playing in the NBA.
Michael Jordan was in a Bulls uniform last time you won, bro.
And Bill Clinton was president.
Like, it's ancient history, and you think that you can live off of these championships that you won because you got a super team and just so happened to have a great coach who was running things extremely well in Jimmy Johnson, and you've done such a disservice to the Cowboys that putting Jimmy into the Ring of Honor didn't even save you. It didn't even save you because you have been a shame to Dallas as a city. You've done shame to Cowboys fans around the world, and you should be ashamed of yourself. And I'm just as much as Dak deserves the blame, Jerry deserves more and more and more because he's the guy calling the shots. You've done nothing for this team. Nothing. In 40 years, you've done nothing, right? You get these head coaches who will say yes to you, not head coaches who will make your team better. You think that you're such a good drafter when Will McClay is doing half of the scouting and drafting for you that you can build your team through the draft. You've hit on some great ones. Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, Ezekiel Elliott, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, goes on and on and on and on. But none of that matters if you can't use free agency and trades to build around everyone else. How can you as an owner look at the worst run defense of the NFL and he sits in his box like he doesn't know why the team is losing when he's the one who made the team? That's your team out there on the field, Jerry. Get on the phone. Go get Bubble Bass. I don't care. I really don't care. Mrs. Pearl, I don't know. Like anyone. I don't know.
But go get The Rock, bro.
Go get The Rock, bro. Dude, go get John Cena. I'd start calling around the WWE. I don't care, man. You go back in time and get Goliath. I don't even know at this point. You need divine intervention to turn this thing around.
Man, bro, I can't. That team, man.
I mean, this was literally 40 minutes of Cowboys bashing. I'm so sorry, but
Dude, I didn't watch the second half. I couldn't watch it. I turned off after the second quarter. I was done.
I'm about to just stop watching Cowboys games.
It's not worth it. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
Thank God you didn't watch it. Thank God you didn't watch it, bro.
I didn't watch it. I fell asleep. I was like, you know what? I'll sleep and then I'll watch Sunday Night Football, which is exactly what I did. And yeah. Yeah, that's all I have to say. So Bubble Bass for DT of the year right there. I don't know. I don't know.
Something. One more thing. I turn 22 next week. I haven't seen the Cowboys win in my lifetime. I don't think I ever will.
You never will.
I mean, at 6 years old, I said, you know what? Maybe before I turn 18. Nope. My dad turns 55 next year. This coming year, actually. He hasn't won since he was in his 30s. No, his 20s. My bad, in his 20s.
His 20s.
My mom was graduating from high school still. She was still in high school when the Cowboys won. I don't know. That team will never win again. They never will.
Yeah. I just think,
Go get the Patriots, bro. Go get Tony Stark. Go get Nick Fury, something, man. I can't.
Yeah. And I think, kind of last thing here, kind of bouncing off what Nick said about he's hiring people who just say yes to him. Well, the reason all these people are saying yes to him is because all the money he's giving them.
Yeah.
They're making so much money, why would they say no to that, to anything he says? Because, the second they start saying no to him, the second they lose their jobs.
Yeah.
So, he needs to find people who, who aren't in it necessarily for the money.
You had Bill Belichick right there.
You could have gotten Bill Belichick this season.
Could have gotten Bill Belichick. You could have gotten Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator. You could have
Airbnb.
you could have gotten Bieniemy. You could have gotten Vrabel. You could have gotten, dude.
Jim
I don't know,
Harbaugh.
Jim Har. Well, yeah, Jerry Jones would die before he gave Jim Harbaugh a job because Jim would say, "This is ran like my local McDonald's. We need to change this."
Man, this
I
dude.
just it's just an embarrassment. You're lucky you won 3 games because you're not. You might win 2 more if you're lucky. Because
They ain't winning next week, that's for sure.
so, kind of reining it back in here a little bit. We all gave our piece. They have a bye week. What are they going to do on their bye week? Nothing, because the 49ers are going to shellac them in week 8. The Falcons, they play the Falcons. Bijan Robinson's going to cook them. Kirko's going to cook them. They might beat the Eagles because the Eagles are also really bad. The Texans are going to embarrass them. Jaden Daniels is going to make them cry for their mommy. They might beat Daniel Jones just because he's horrible. Joe Burrow is going to embarrass them. Like that Panthers game looks easy, but Jonathan Brooks will be back. That's their rookie running back from Texas. He might have his coming out party in week 15, and it might be an ugly, ugly loss. Then Baker's going to give them the business. Then they will win or lose against the Eagles, and then Jaden Daniels is going to whoop them again.
Yeah.
So you got 3 maybes. 3 maybes. You might be 6-11. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. If they win 3 more games. Embarrassing. You should be ashamed of yourself, Jerry. You should be ashamed of yourself.
You should be.
And Mike McCarthy, just go home, bro. Please. Just get off the sideline. Just hang it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm done. I'm done talking about the Cowboys. That was literally 40 minutes, I think. We got one more game, NFL game we're going to talk about real quickly here. Sunday Night Football. Bengals finally won another game. They're 2-4. They beat the Giants. Joe Burrow didn't play great. He had a monster 47-yard touchdown run. Crazy. And that and the Chase Brown touchdown on the ground really was it. We all knew the Bengals are better. Giants didn't have Malik Neighbors. But the Bengals win. They're 2-4. Trey, you think any chance the Bengals turn it around from here?
No, I think Joe Burrow. He threw 0 touchdowns, man. 0 TDs. I think that team's a little overrated now. I mean, yes, I think Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are really good.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They're good. And so I think Zach Moss is a good piece to pick up too, but I think that team's done, man. I mean, Joe Burrow's a little washed up a little bit. I know he's young, but he doesn't look the same. I mean, yes, he has 12 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, but still, I don't know. That guy looks a little shaky to me. That team does too.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Giants. I'm not really holding much because their defense has been really, really, rough.
Yeah.
The Giants without Malik Neighbors, I'm not super impressed by that. They played Deshaun. They should win that pretty easily. They should beat the Eagles handily. They should beat the Raiders handily. They could be 5-4 before the next time they play an actually difficult game, which will be the Ravens. So they have to win those games. We said last week, I said they have to go 4-0 before they play the Ravens. They're 1-0. So, they have a chance. So, Jaden, you have anything else to add about the Bengals?
No.
Yeah. It's
not much more to say.
Not much more to say. We just got to see. We got to see. Jamar Chase is awesome. T. Higgins is awesome. They have the offensive pieces. They can turn it around. They got to win some games. We didn't talk about this. I want to hop back real quickly to the Lions side. We were so busy about the Cowboys. We didn't even think about it. We'll wrap up here pretty soon. Trey is on East Coast time, so it's getting pretty late for him. But real quickly, the Lions did lose Aiden Hutchinson. That was a really, really, really gruesome injury. Yeah. He broke his leg. They performed emergency surgery in Dallas, successful surgery. Prayers up to him. He was my defensive player of the year before he got injured. He's an awesome, awesome player. I hope he can stay healthy after this. I hope he has a quick recovery. The Lions are definitely going to miss him, but prayers up to Aiden Hutchinson for sure. Speedy recovery, all those things. Awesome player. Hopefully the Lions will be able to maintain that, that pressure without him. He's one of the best defensive players in the league. It's going to be tough, but they have a really deep team. So rooting for the guy, rooting for that whole situation to come out well. So
you can hear it. You heard it snap on TV. You can hear it snap.
Yeah,
it's bad. It's just really, 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 really gruesome injury.
Even though the rest of the game, but
it was horrible. Rough game, rough injury. Well, it was a rough game, rough injury. So the Lions did pull out, massive win, but they lost their best defender. So who knows? They might try to make a trade for someone. Not sure, but prayers up to him. We're going to move over to college football real quick. There was not that many games. My Red Raiders didn't play this week, so obviously this week wasn't that important. If the Red Raiders didn't play, y'all don't have to hear me talk about them. But I do want to talk about the Texas Oklahoma game, the Red River rivalry. That's kind of hard to say really fast. Texas won 34-3, and they're the best team in college football, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think, call me crazy. Just call me crazy, guys. Isn't Archie Manning better than Quinn Ewers? Or is that just me?
Dude, I think so.
Yeah.
I really think so.
I get a different vibe when he plays. The team seems more up. And I know Archie didn't have to play against great teams, but it's just a vibe thing. Oklahoma's not that great either. They have a lot of injuries. Sorry, if my friend Trevor's watching, I apologize. The Sooners, he's a Sooners fan. They have a lot of injuries on the they weren't 100% obviously, but I don't know. I feel like Archie's better.
Yeah, I think so. I
don't know if I'm it might be living in the hype in the moment. I don't know. I guess that's possible, but man, I really get a different vibe from those guys. But yeah, they won. They're 6-0. They remain undefeated. Moving over, not much to talk about. This is a shellacking. We all knew Texas was going to win that game. Moving over real quickly to Alabama, they pull out a really, really, really close win versus South Carolina. Trey, do you think that loss last week shook Alabama to its core? That loss to Vanderbilt.
I think I did. I think if this was Saban right now coaching, that would have not happened. It wouldn't have happened if Saban was coaching, but he's retired.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow is going downhill now. After that confidence beater with Vanderbilt, downhill. Because I will admit, I thought it would be Texas and Alabama in the SEC title game. I did think that, but now, no, I don't think it will happen now.
Yeah, for sure.
They look shaky.
They do. They look shaky. That Vanderbilt loss definitely shook them to their core. I think they could turn around. Jalen Milroe, Ryan Williams, great squad. Just got to start winning a little, be a little more dominant. We need to see some more dominance out of them. Jaden, you got anything to add about Bama?
No, not really.
Yeah, I mean they barely beat a decent team, all right, like a middling team. I want to talk about two more games real quickly here. Oregon beat OSU 32-31. This was a awesome game. Oregon is now ranked 2. This was an awesome game. Dylan Gabriel is awesome. He's a fantastic player. Oregon's got a squad. I was really impressed with that. I mean, I'm excited for this playoff, guys. This is going to be fun. This is going to be really, really fun. And really quickly here, wrapping up this college football talk, I just want to briefly talk about Boise State and Hawaii, that game. Ashton Jeanty is my Heisman. He is still my Heisman. He is on pace right now to break Barry Sanders' all-time college rushing record.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And if you guys don't know, for those watching, Barry Sanders' all-time rushing record in college, I'm going to get the exact number here, is 2,628. So 2,628, 2,628 yards
Wow.
in a season. And Ashton Genty is on pace to break that. If he breaks that and he doesn't get Heisman, we need to reevaluate how everything is graded. He has been unbelievably good. He's one of the most fun players to watch just in general. He is awesome. He's the only one who can save the Cowboys, but I pray he goes somewhere else because he deserves better. He has 17 touchdowns, 1,248 yards, and he's averaging 9.9 yards a carry.
That's insane.
He's awesome.
That's crazy, man.
He's so good. He is so good. Yeah, I mean, college football's been really fun. Trey, did you want to talk a little bit about Colorado? I know they lost a close game to Kansas State.
You know, oh man, I'm kind of shocked.
I thought they had it. I thought they had it.
But I think Travis Hunter going down hurt them a lot. Probably.
Definitely. And they lost Jimmy Horn as well in this game.
Shiloh Sanders might be he's terrible.
He's bad. He's really bad.
I mean, 21 should be off that guy's back. He should be -1. That's how bad he's playing.
Yeah, that was yeah.
He's not that good. He ain't good. I don't know what happened to that guy's confidence.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, but yeah, that was rough. That was a close game. Kansas State did pull it out 31-28. That was a Big 12 game. I wanted Colorado to win, obviously, because I feel like that would have helped Tech a little more, but they're both Big 12, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Every time I watch a Big 12 football game, I think about who should win to help Texas Tech. So call me a homer. I literally got a degree from Texas Tech. I feel like I'm allowed to do that. So, but yeah, college football's been really fun. Excited for the playoffs.
Yeah, same.
And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Moving over real quickly, we're going to briefly cover some baseball here. Last time we met, we were
Say about the Yankees, man.
Yeah, the Yankees managed to pull out the W versus the Royals. They won that series pretty handily, 3-1. It was 1-1 when we last met. They won 3-1. They just tonight they beat the Guardians. They're up 2-0. Aaron Judge hit a home run finally. Aaron Judge is the best Aaron in New York, by the way. It's not Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Judge. Yeah. He's definitely the best one. The Mets and Dodgers series on the National League side is 1-1. The Mets won today. The Mets look awesome. I'm really hoping it's a Dodgers Yankees, but also Mets Yankees would be unbelievable because it'd be the Battle of New York. That would be awesome.
Series, man, a Subway series.
The Subway, that would be awesome. I think no one cares about the Guardians. I'm kidding. Obviously, a lot of people care, but for sake of what it means for baseball, either the Yankees Dodgers or the Yankees Mets would be the best outcome for the World Series. But the playoffs have been awesome. I've watched a lot of games. I'm really looking forward to Game 3 of Mets and Dodgers tomorrow, and then Game 3 of the Yankees Guardians. But Aaron Judge has made his announcement in the playoffs. He is here. He hit a home run. The Yankees are looking good, and Trey is praying that they win. Trey might actually cry if the Yankees win.
And if they win it all, man, I haven't won since they were 6 years old. Since Jitty was playing.
Mm-hmm.
Please get it done, bro. Please get it done, Yankees. Get it done. I'm calling it right now. They're sweeping the Guardians. They're sweeping that team.
Probably should. But I would love an Ohtani Aaron Judge World Series, man.
Oh man,
that'd be really good.
That'll be
awesome. Must see television.
That'll Forget the Cowboys football. Watch this team
Who
instead.
cares about that? Who cares about that? But like I said, Aaron Judge, I believe his home run, was a, let me see here just to double check. So he had, was it a 1-run home run? Is a 2-run home run. And then he had 2 other RBIs. So he finished with 3 RBIs and 1 home run. Really good, really good. That kind of sealed the game for him. But, the Guardians, the series isn't over, obviously. But, yeah, playoffs have been fun for MLB. But that about wraps up this episode, guys, episode 6 of the Playbook Podcast. Really appreciate y'all sticking around as we work through different things. We try new things. Let us know what you guys like about it, what you guys dislike, what we could add. Travis will obviously be in the comments for sure because he's in the comments every single time. But, yeah, let us know. Sorry, Cowboys fans. Like, subscribe, do all those things. Cowboys fans, this is going to be a rough episode for y'all. So, and I'm warning you at the end after you've heard it. So I apologize, but I'll say I'm praying for the Cowboys fans at this point who have watched this far. So really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for sticking around with us. And yeah, y'all have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you back next week for episode 7. Y'all have a good night.